The Renaissance, a period where the arts flourish, philosophy resurfaces, and scientific innovation is pursued. A period that begins in the 14th century in the Republic of Florence and spreads rapidly across Europe, lasting until about the 17th century. It's a time where strides in humanity achieve progress that had not been seen since the fall of Rome. A time that sets the stage for the modern world. A time where humanity rediscovers its own potential. Of all of the painters, sculptors, writers, and philosophers, the one person that truly encompasses everything the Renaissance would come to embody would have to be none other than Michelangelo. Born in March 1475 in Caprice, a little village in Tuscany, would later be regarded as one of the greatest artists to have ever walked the earth. At a young age, Michelangelo's father soon realized that his son had no desire to be involved in the family business, which was finance. Michelangelo did not enjoy schooling and was far more interested in watching painters at local churches. His father recognized this, and as customary with the time period, he agreed to arrange Michelangelo's apprenticeship to painter Domenico Ghirlandaio, where he would first be exposed to the technique fresco. Fresco, meaning fresh, is a technique in mural painting that is performed on freshly laid plaster. Water is then used as the means for the pigments to merge with the plaster. Thus, the paint settling into the plaster makes the work physically a part of the surface. This style is closely associated with the Italian Renaissance painting and would mark the beginning of Michelangelo's expertise. One of his most recognizable frescoes would be the Creation of Adam. The Creation of Adam is an iconic piece of humanity and one of the most imitated paintings of all time. In the piece, God is depicted in human form, reaching out to touch Adam, the first human, and breathing life into him. The work is an illustration from the book of Genesis, referring to God's creation of life, and it's the most recognizable portion of the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo was a devout Catholic, and his faith is often expressed in his works. The dedication Michelangelo put into each piece was reminiscent to the devotion of a monk. The Sistine Chapel's ceiling would prove to be one of the greatest collective works ever created, taken approximately 4 years to complete, and would spawn imitations that would proceed throughout the Baroque period, well over 100 years after Michelangelo's death. After only 1 year of Michelangelo's apprenticeship with Ghirlandaio, an opportunity would be given to the young Michelangelo. He would move to the palace of Lorenzo de' Medici, who was a very prominent and wealthy financier of the Medici family, a very powerful Florentine banking clan. It is here where Michelangelo would begin his study of sculpture. Association with the Medici family provided Michelangelo with the ability to interact with the social elite of Florence, enabling him to become acquainted with other artists of the time. Bertoldo di Giovanni, an accomplished sculptor in his own right, would become the next master to Michelangelo and expose him to poets, scholars, and philosophers. The influences Michelangelo would be exposed to would lay the foundations for further quests for knowledge, and his own style that he would develop. Through his own initiative, Michelangelo became fascinated with human anatomy, even going so far as to study and dissecting cadavers, after acquiring permission from the church in order to be able to do so. It was this level of study and commitment that provided him the expertise that, when combined with his natural gift, Michelangelo would create the sculpture of David, arguably the most perfect sculpture ever created. The sculpture of David has long been a prize of Florence. As a religious symbol, David was a heroic figure in the book of Samuel. In the book, David would triumph over the much larger Goliath, an enemy of God. David would be granted the title of King of Israel in honor of his success. The statue is a nude, standing at an incredible 17 feet in height, made of marble with impeccable detail, which symbolizes the strength and beauty of youth. The sculpture was initially begun in 1464, commissioned by the Cathedral of Florence. But due to the fear of working with such a large block of marble, many sculptors refused to attempt completing. In what was yet another testament to Michelangelo's religious devotion and refusal to deny a challenge, the 26-year-old took on the project, and in 3 years, he had completed one of the most iconic sculptures in history. The beauty and the figure of the statue became a tremendous source of pride for the people of Florence, going so far as to be a manifestation of the city-state's own ability to overcome enemies more powerful than itself. An honor many artists never get to receive is recognition while they are still living. During Michelangelo's lifetime, he was often regarded as the best artist and affectionately received a nickname in tribute to his abilities, El Divino, the Divine One. A lot of this is attributed to his versatility as an artist, being able to work with all sorts of material. The high point of Michelangelo's career would come with his commission as the chief architect of St. Peter's Basilica in 1546. His greatest contribution to the structure would be the dome, which has become a dominating feature of the skyline of Rome. Sadly, he would not live long enough to see the full completion of the basilica, as this would occur 60 years after his death. However, today, the church still stands as an icon of Rome and an expression of the greatness achieved during the Renaissance. Michelangelo died in February 1564, revered by the public as a master of the arts, and left a legacy through his works that society still has the privilege to admire, even to this day. The Renaissance produced many fine works by many great artists. However, one would be hard-pressed to ever be able to find one that could have left such a mark on the world of art as Michelangelo.